In this video, I'm going to go over basic ways of doing masks inside of After Effects. And so normally when you make a shape, it will create a new layer, right? Or if you use the pen tool, it'll make a new shape layer, right? But if you are selected on any layer, let's delete your shape, delete that shape layer. If you have a layer selected and I make a shape or use the pen tool, notice that it does something totally different. You start to see your shape being erased. And if you look down in your timeline, you will see a mask is created. And what this is you are literally creating a mask in the same way you would in Photoshop that you then can manipulate and move. And so looking at this, right now we've created a mask, and if I twirl this down, it was on my shape previously called hello, or the text area called hello. And if I change the word add to subtract, notice it keeps everything out except for that specific word or that specific part of my letter or my image. We have a mask path, we have a feather, which means I can feather the edges. So if we zoom into this, so here, if I look at my mask path, you'll see that I have this area with the feather. It'll just do a nice sort of fade in from the edges. Or if I want to expand, I can have it expand all the way out. And all of these properties you can animate. I'm going to reset this back to how it was originally. So let's change this to 0. Let's change this to 0 as well. So now we just have a solid box. And you can animate these points over time. So if I go into my selection tool, I can draw a selection around one of these edges, and notice I can change this shape. So if I want this to move through my entire box, my entire word behind it, what I can do is click on my mask path. And if I draw a selection around it, I can move all of these together. So I'm going to start with it off to the edge here, mask path, and I can draw a selection around these two edges, jump forward in time, then draw a selection around these edges, and have this cover up my word. And if I wanted it to be faster, I can drag these two keyframes together, zoop, or I can have it go with the feather. So if we see it here, if I want a feathered edge, so it's a little bit softer, I just feather a tiny bit. So this is a way of animating masks. You can also have multiple masks. So if I wanted another one to come in from this side, what I could do is zoom out, go to my shape tool or pen tool, have the layer selected, and I can draw another box on this side, and you'll see it does the same thing, where this is now going to be subtract as well. Let's start a mask path, and I'm going to jump forward in time. I want to have this one selected, and I can hold down Shift and select each of these. Not this last one, just these two, this way. And they'll come in together. And I can spread these out so they slow down a little bit. So I know that we were doing some of this work with the animator itself on a text layer, but you can also do this with masks. And this works totally with shapes. It works with pen tools. And it's really about changing the method that you're masking here and here. There's more advanced ways of masking using track mats, but for right now, this is the basic way of making them work.